welcome to Permadeath Extraordinaire, where we're going to be doing another old-style D&D adventure with a different character than the last time, if anybody was here for the last time. I have several groups that are running, and we'll probably be featuring a little bit more of their exploits as time goes on, because I believe we finally figured out how to run this game. In any event, so we're going to play a little bit of second edition. This is different than the last episode. In this case, we're going to be featuring the Magpie. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello. Magpie is a nickname I got because I like shiny things.
Greyward Silverkin is officially his name, as I'm scrolled over it right now. And he is a wizard and a priest of the Drowned Bride, who is a god representing the loss and depths of the ocean. In any event, so we can't say he's the most scrupulous of people, but we'll just call him chaotic, greedy. In any event. But it seems like he tries to keep most of his dealings semi above the table. So, in any event, a number of images are used around here, and if anybody wants a link to them, I can provide that. So just ask in the chat, and I'll give proper credit where proper credit is due. In any event, so what do we got here? Where were we? Oh, we joined the Magpie on his great pilgrimage, where he decided to go from his farms through the great city of Narfell, known as the City of Rings, up the King's Road, past the Borderland Keep, along the edges of the Ice-Lace Lake, and finally has found himself in the somewhat decrepit cliffside city of Sweet Haven. And that's where we join him as he's attempting to find a boat, perhaps doing a little bit of local business, getting some of his affairs in order. And we had left off where you believe that you had found a boat. Dorian was talking to you. Dorian Heavyfoot is the assistant and guardian, if you will, to the Magpie. Having recently met, they seem to get along pretty well. The Magpie's goal, by the way, is to go across the lake, across the snowy woods or the snowy hills, out into the glacier wastelands, to the edge of a place known as the Ring of Fire, to seek the Feathered Mound. This is a adaptation and implementation, if you will, of an old classic, because I promised all these players here that they would see a lot of the old classics from the old days. In any event, so those of you who know the game will understand the Feathered Mound. Those of you who don't know the game, enjoy. The Feathered Mound is said to be the lair of a great wizard by the name of Chiroptis. And recently, a number of weapons and artifacts were stolen from various places, and omens have led the Magpie to believe that those items rest with Chiroptis in the Feathered Mound. So, he's on his way there, and he figured he might stop off at a couple other places. There is an ancient elven ruin secreted out in the woods. There's the Tower of a Lost Wizard, who was said to have taught the king himself how to use magic. And everything else in between. Who knows what you'll find out there. The history of Skyfell is long, convoluted, and the players know pretty much nothing about it. So as they discover the lore, any watchers that are here could also discover the lore. And blanks will be filled in. You'll notice people will start mentioning things like the Leviathan. We'll talk about that in time. They'll mention the Silver Doors and the monks. We'll talk about that in time. And many other little things like that. So if you have any questions, just kind of save them and get to experience the realm as the players do. With that in mind, what kind of... You had decided to stay with the Brothers Oswinter for at least one day, and you had to take care of a couple of things. So it is morning of the second day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Time in this realm, by the way, is very arbitrary, because none of these fools have a good schedule, so I can't get all of them together at one time, so I can't really have a unified timeline, but all of them have events that bleed off into each other's lives. So I have to keep time a little vague. So suffice to say, it started snowing about a month ago. Winter started. Winter is here, and it's here in a big way. There have been a number of blizzards, and now there's reckonings that the cold fogs are coming. The cold fog is when it just gets extremely cold. Heavy fog blows in, and pretty much ices up everything. It's a bad phenomenon.
So, I agreed to follow Dorian down the docks and climb aboard that boat to cross the ice lace to get over to the other side with the captain, and provided we do some help on the boat, you know,
Mm-hmm.
passing might be easier.
All right, let's see now. I have a map of a boat.
And the
Give me a moment
brothers
here.
Oswinter were going to give us a lift down there to the docks in a carriage and someone to help us unload. A young boy.
If I can find what I'm looking for, I should have probably opened all this stuff before we got started. That's okay. All right. Okay, and we need the image of the thingy-madobber. I just totally hit the wrong thing. Okay, so we don't exactly know how to run the game.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to bring it aboard without exploding the table.
Oh,
Yeah, in theory, if I do it here,
lock everything down.
yeah, we'll see what happens. And then I gotta go into here, and then I gotta go into here, down to here, into here. Now, which one was it? I hope it's this one. Okay, so there it is. It does such weird things. Okay, there we go. Let's reduce this in size a little bit. A little big there.
Oh, my favorite domain, water.
Yeah, we'll lock that down. That'll be fine for now. Okay, so walking on up onto the deck, you're greeted by the captain. Aye, Captain Gavin's my name, he says.
Captain Gavin.
And it's good to find a bit of volunteers here to help us out on this ship. You gotta understand, a lot of people are afraid that the cold fogs are coming. But, aye, he looks towards the front of the boat, pointing. You kind of look over the rail, notice the name is the Endurance. We're not afraid of no fog. I've been sailing this lake for about 20 years now. And I got some cargo that needs delivering on time.
Okay.
So, where are you thinking, where What kind of deal are you thinking about? Let's get off the decks. It's a little cold. Aye. My cabin's much warmer. So,
Okay.
sitting in the... I wouldn't call it well appointed, but definitely looks well used and well organized. Captain's cabin.
Magpie's strolling around looking at the place. He's not used to such dirtiness
Now
in the
your
cabin.
friend here, pointing at Dorian. I recognize him. We spoke the other day. Yesterday it was, and he said that you're a man of the bride. If this is true, we'd like to have you on board, because, as one can never take too many advantages when the storms are coming.
Understood.
We'd be willing to reduce your workload, because this is a work passage.
I see. I'm going to hold up my left hand to the captain and show him my webbed fingers and scaled hand.
Oh, let's see now. Gavin has been around a little bit. And somehow has not heard anything about you. Oh, there's some funny looking hands you got there.
Okay.
Well, your friend also said you were famous. You did something in the far ocean, something about an island, and people of Fiji like you. Then we definitely would like to have you on board.
The ship will not sink with me on board, that's for sure.
What would you say to, you could be the cook's assistant. That would be the only duties you have to do, nothing above deck.
Cook's assistant?
Do you know how to cook?
Yes, but assistant?
Cookie! Guy looks up. You're the assistant cook now. Fuck. Congratulations. You're the cook. And you're gonna be our priest.
Good.
Now, he kind of looks at your robes and whatnot, noticing that you've got what you need. It looks like you keep up with your supplications then.
Of course I do.
Good. We wouldn't want to go home to the bride's ocean now, would we?
You wouldn't be going home, you'd be going down.
Cookie will show you around. As for your friend, he already told us that he knows nothing about boats and that he's pretty much useless. So we're going to have him swabbing the deck and carrying the heavy loads.
He's pretty handy, He's pretty good.
And, as agreed, reaches down, pushes a small box towards Dorian, who grabs it, looks at you, flips it open. Cigars.
Dorian. Really?
I proved my strength, and he figured he'd give me a little payment. I said I wanted some of these, huh?
Yeah, alright, okay.
Don't worry, boss. I'll split it with you.
I don't smoke.
Now, the captain says, most of my boys have been with me for quite a while, so they may give you a little ribbon off the start, but you can win them over if you cook them a good meal, huh?
I see. I'm good with herbs, I'll put it that way. Herbs and brewing. It's my specialty.
Well, we're leaving first thing in the morning tomorrow. So if you need anything, if you need to go get any of your herbs, or you want to go, do that.
I want to go now. Why are we waiting? You said you had cargo that needs shipping. Why not be early?
We got to finish loading the goods. How are you going to cook if you ain't got nothing to cook?
I thought you would already have this loaded. That's why we came down today.
I figured we was making our deal today.
The deal was made yesterday with Dorian. so I thought.
I had to discuss with you first. We're not heading out today, friend, and good luck finding another boat that is. Especially one that won't charge you an arm and a leg, especially if you're some famous person.
Gavin, where are you delivering your goods to?
I have several places I need to stop, and that's what I was going to talk to you about. Where do you think you're going to be going, Ar? How much do you know about the Ice Lace? What village are you going to?
I've not been across the Ice Lace before, but I know a rough direction of where I'd like to go. I'll keep that to myself, but I'd like to know where you're stopping.
Well, picture, if you will, that the lake is a wheel. We'll be starting up in the north, where the river comes down into the lake. There be 3 creeks. Be picking up a little cargo there. Hopefully we won't have any trouble with the icebreakers.
Icebreakers?
And we'll be making our way due south to the village of Nasscliff and the village of Oliverall.
I'll probably jumping off at first stop then. In the north.
Aye, 3 creeks it is then.
Yeah. Okay. Captain Gavin, how much money do you make sailing this lake? Not to be rude, but I've got a captain of my own.
That, my friend, depends. It depends on the season. Like right now, there's not a lot of money to be made, friend. I'm going to be picking up fish.
If you prove your ability, I may be able to pay you more in future.
Well,
as you work for me.
Well, perhaps we'll talk about that in time. So, can I count on the 2 of you being here for when we launch in the morning? It'll be at dawn.
Yes, but I'd like to be able to stay in your cabin. I'm not sleeping below.
No, I'm afraid that can't be arranged there, friend.
Why not?
Because it's my cabin. This is where I keep my charts and my equipment.
I'm pretty good with charts.
I think you probably need to stay with the men. Or perhaps you'll need to walk. You didn't tell me your friend was such a priss.
You would not believe the vote that I had before this happened. I had a triple-masted galleon, all of my own, Captain Gavin. We played roulette. And dice.
I'm sorry that your fortunes have turned around so, friend. Perhaps you'll find what you seek on the far side of the lake.
It was plated in gold.
Here, check it out, my friend. Gavin knows a couple of harbors across the way that aren't pretty much marked on any of the king's maps. Normally my path takes me a little out of the way, but I'd be willing to go across the eastern shores of the lake. Perhaps get you a little closer to your goal if you see fit. It would be good to have a priest of the bride on board. And we would like to have you here, but there's no effing way you're staying in my cabin, mate.
Show me on the charts where you want to stop. I'll think about it.
Our path's gonna take us this way.
Okay.
But I'm saying, because I wouldn't mind having a priest of the bride on board, I'd be willing to go a little ways down the coast. Maybe I could pick up a little business along the way. There are several small fishing villages and less scrupulous places.
Right.
And then I'll just continue back on my way after we drop you off where you want to go. As I said, this time of year, it would be very good to have you on board, sir.
Primarily, I'm looking to stop around here.
That would be 3 Creeks, my friend. Decent enough city. We're going there.
So, that's my plan. And I'm whispering to Dorian a little bit. Hey Dorian, when we get stopped, we'll go to that tower. We'll swing round. Head south. Then north.
You know, when you erase that, you're going to erase all them other lines.
I'm not going to erase it. I'll leave that.
They do need to fine-tune the eraser tool. So the more zoomed in you are, the less it erases. That would be my suggestion. Maybe I should get on the forum. Anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah, bitching to the air doesn't do no good.
Yeah. Maybe they're watching, though.
Maybe. Looks like we had a couple of viewers, actually. Hello, viewers.
Well, I'm one of them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the other.
Yeah.
And then Ellie and Dara, maybe.
Oh.
In any event, almost seems like you got enough fucking viewers.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Okay, so
yeah.
General layout of the ship. You got the main. You got the main deck.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the below decks.
Right.
And a lot of this will detail later. These numbers don't really. I don't actually have the key to this map, but I know enough of what's going on.
Captain Gavin, is there any cabins downstairs? Any secluded rooms? I'm looking at this here, rather than sleeping in a hammock there.
Let's see here. What do we got? We got the kitchen here. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was a stupid mark. Let's not do that.
Gotcha, kitchen there, yeah.
Let's see. This would probably be the captain's room. Personal room. This is where you're meeting with him. Let's see. This would be the first mate's room. This would be the quartermaster's room.
I want the quartermaster's room.
Quartermaster's in charge of all the supplies on the ship. He's considered an important person. Good luck.
I'll take the study then.
You can't stay in there because that's basically kind of connected to the captain's quarters.
But this one, right.
That's the kitchen storage.
Yeah, I'll sleep in there.
You're going to sleep with the pickled herrings in the barrels?
Exactly.
Where are you going to find the room? It's pretty
Liam's
packed up.
tiny hut.
I think you're probably going to be staying with the rest of the guys out here.
No, Liam's tiny hut. I'll use tiny hut in there. It's fine.
While you're discussing all this with Dorian, you do have another day in the town. Is there anything you wish to accomplish while you're there?
Ain't got any money. No.
Pretty much broke?
Yeah. Yeah, 265 gold.
Oof.
And nothing left.
I think Dorian's kind of getting brokish too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to hold some back in case we need like a cart or anything when we pass over.
Which we most certainly will, because you've got like bottles and herbs and supplication materials and that kind of stuff.
Trunks and stuff, yeah.
So, spending the day loading all that stuff on, I assume. Getting your stuff in order.
Can I do that while we're doing it?
Any last moment things that you want to do? Like I said, you're pretty much going to be out of communication from here on out. So if there's anything that you want to tell Baldric back home, or anything else that you want to send out.
He's got it handled. I mean...
Well, yeah, last you heard a substantial force of orcs tried to take your land, to take your farm, and the monks of the Silver Palm held them off.
So that's fine.
Very effectively.
I do have some guys in that town as well, stationed there. Because I did order for some troops stationed.
Yeah, and they never got that far. They got about as far as Magpie Farms. The monks intercepted.
There you go. But on top of that, can I do the Frost Strike memorization while I'm waiting around for a day?
Go back to the Oswinter estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably pull that off. That's 1 day's worth. You have to do the days sequential, and it's got to be pretty much an all-day thing. You might actually want to wait till you're on the boat. The captain estimates it'll be about 5 some odd days till you get to Three Creeks due to the shifting ice conditions. And it's 50-50. Boat might just sink.
Yeah. Well, it won't.
You guys get crushed in the ice. It could. You guys get crushed in the ice and it's all over. But Gavin's confident.
Yeah. I thought I had time to memorize it, but if I don't, it's fine. I'll memorize it on the boat.
Yeah, it's 1 day per level, so it'd be about a 6-day meditation.
Yeah. I thought it was an hour per level, but okay.
Alright, so...
I did my warding yesterday, and I've not cast any priest things, so fine.
You're not entirely happy with...
The captain, no.
Yeah. But you actually do find this is where everybody's staying. Bunks. Should have noticed them before.
Hmm. Okay.
Top deck. Under the forecastle.
Hmm.
It's pretty dingy.
Yeah.
So next day, we'll just go ahead and hop to it. I just know that here in no time, you're going to be like, oh, I need to talk to somebody about something. I forgot about it.
I've done everything. I've made sure of it.
All right, so possessions gathered and stowed, up onto the deck of the boat. And yes, it's a brisk, clear, cold-ass morning, which that's not unusual. It is Skyfell after all. All right. So, at this juncture, I think... Take a quick break, and I'm going to reset all this stuff. And yeah, if you'll add a day to the counter there.
Okie dokie. Yep.
And on morning of day 3, month 1, once again, time being vague because, well, keeping 3 separate campaigns somewhat synchronized is a matter of vague time. All right. And you're finally beginning your journey into the Far East.
Finally! Took me a month.
Oh, you've been making your way, yeah?
Yeah. Making my way down north.
All right. So yes, the boat is in good repair, but is a very old boat. So yeah, you're definitely not very happy with the living accommodations. They're not as rat infested as you thought, nor are they as bug infested. Why? Because it's cold as hell in Skyfell, and those kind of things often are kept under wraps. Also, Gavin likes a clean boat. It's one of the first things you learn from the guys. You're showed by Cookie, who isn't entirely happy with you. I hope you're a good cook, he says. Because after all, he just got demoted so that you could take his job. This is the larder. Not a whole lot to work with. Biscuits, pickled herrings. The biscuits aren't, we're not talking light and fluffy.
Right.
We're talking more like Kentucky Fried Chicken biscuits that have been left in the sun for about a month. Yeah. So rocks, basically.
Rocks?
Yeah. And, of course, everybody's favorite salt pork, which you generally have to boil a lot in water, to get the the horrible salt out of it, a little bit of jerky, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You took no time during that day that you had to go get some exotic spices or something to try and impress the crew, so you're kind of fucked on that.
I didn't want to.
They got salt.
Yeah.
Some
They
salt.
can be as salty as they want.
And a little bit of salt. Yeah, so they do have that.
Uh-huh.
One good thing is that the lake is freshwater, so
Oh, that's
yeah.
convenient.
Yeah, so that way you can die of slow starvation.
No, we're gonna kill birds.
And you're shown the kitchen facility, which does have adequate facilities for butchering. If you guys should have to, hit the shore and start finding food, boats do that a lot. Well, not nowadays, but in the day they definitely did.
Yeah.
All the amenities you would need. You're generally going to have to cook for, I can't remember exactly how many guys are on the crew. I'll have to look on the fucking page here. Colorful metaphors. Bad language. Bad, nasty, bad language.
With a bunch of sailors here, man. This is going to be bad language.
Yeah, there we go. I'll use that for the excuse. That'll work.
You know what? During that night, I'm going to rememorize one of my spells for my priest.
As in change out one of your spells?
Yeah. You have a guess at which one it's going to be. Second level.
Boy, I sure do wish they'd tell me how many guys are on this freaking boat.
Because I know I'm going to be cooking. I want to try out something. Might not be very clever, but I'm going to try it. Because I want to see what it does.
Now, this map is not entirely going to be indicative of the boat that you're on. Just picture this a little bit bigger than it's pictured here. In this case, you've got 50 men that you're going to have to cook for. Do you have cooking?
No.
Really?
Yeah, really. I've got herbalist.
I should have used the text tool.
I've got navigation and weather sense and astrology. Urban survival, swimming.
You're going to get thrown overboard.
I don't care.
When you cook them the bad food.
I'm going to cook them the bad food, but then I'm going to use Dissension's Feast on it. And then let them fight about something else. It'll make for good viewing. That's my plan.
The good viewing will be your slow starvation, as you have no idea how to drive a boat, do you? So you would drift amongst crazy people.
I know where I'm going. I got navigation.
Well, there you go. Now you need to do is figure out them sails.
Yeah.
You're halfway there. I don't think Dorian can help you either. In any event. So, 50 guys. You don't know how to cook.
Nope.
Yeah, this is going to go well.
Biscuits, and that's it.
So you're going to serve them biscuits tonight? You could have fine steaks. You wouldn't know the difference. You don't know how to cook.
Yeah, two.
So that should be fun.
Maybe I'll sample it first.
So, as the boat starts pulling out, here the guys up overhead. As they pull out the sails, start heading across the icy, horrible reaches of the Ice Lace Lake. Cookie looks at you and says, "So, should we get started?" And that's where we'll have our commercial break. As you, yeah, sure.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
All right, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Quick break. Welcome to the show, viewers. Welcome to the show. There was somebody here for a couple of minutes, but looks like they left. Anyway, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so you're in the kitchen. You have no idea what most of the stuff around you does.
Uh-huh.
You gotta feed 50 men. That in
Yeah.
itself has some substantial minuses. Basically, it comes down to roll d20. On a 1 to 5, you pull something off. Anything else is what we would consider disaster of culinary
Okay.
proportions.
Can I not use Dissension's Feast on it as well while I'm doing it?
I don't even think you have that spell.
I do have that spell.
Why would you have that spell? A, it's above the levels you can cast, and B, when did I
No,
give that
it's
to
not.
you?
It's second level, and it's
Is it?
chaotic. It's
It's in your chaos spheres.
Mm.
Alright, if you're trying to derail your campaign right now, then you can do that.
Well, I
In which case, we could just save the dice rolls and end it.
No, that's not what I'm going for.
Well, what are you trying to do?
Fight...
They could break into melee combat. You need to read your spells a little more careful. A bunch of sailors on a boat, and you're going to put a Dissension's Feast on.
What I was trying to do was...
What are you trying? You're killing yourself.
Over.
Yeah, you're...
Okay,
yeah, why would you do that? Okay. If you want to derail your campaign, just say it.
Okay, I'll stick with it. Come on, d20. 1 to 5.
Okay, so the cook is figuring out that you don't entirely know what you're doing, as it appears as if you're going to try and serve some raw potatoes and scorched celery, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he's going to go talk to the captain.
Okay.
And the captain's going to come talk to you. Could I see you in the forecastle?
Uh-huh, sure thing.
Cookie says you don't know what the hell you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing, Cookie.
Cookie's cooked with us for several years.
Yeah?
Now, you professed you were a cook there, priest.
No, I didn't. I said I'll take the job, but only as chef.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to put you back to cook's assistant, or I have a mop here in the corner. And I got a praying stone. For those of you who don't know, old boats you have to wash down with big stones. They call them praying stones because you have to get on your knees and scrub the deck with them.
I'll tell you what, Captain. I'll assist him, but I still keep the title as chef.
Dorian's looking at you like you've absolutely lost your fucking mind. What is wrong with you, man?
I'm too proud.
Are these cigars too heavy or what?
No, I'm too proud. You know that, Dory.
The men are gonna know what you did. It's a small community here, boy.
Fine. I'll bow my head this one time, but if you mention this to anybody, that's it. Fine. Okay, Dorian.
Dorian's thinking maybe you need to pray with the stone on the deck for a while.
Yeah. Right.
After all, friend, once we hit the far shore, there's going to be nobody to impress. And your pretty little robes are going to fall to tatters in the first week. Then you're going to be wearing this. And he shows off his wolf skin. That's what you're going to be wearing. And if you're lucky, I won't make you hunt the wolf. I'll do it for you.
That's what I'm paying you for.
That it is. Pardon him, Captain. He's from a more ritzier neighborhood than most of us. Oh, I can tell, Gavin says. Don't become more trouble than you're worth.
Yeah. For all those watching, my character is supposed to be a little bit posh and a little bit stuck up and snobby. That's why I'm doing it.
And no, causing the crew to get into combat wouldn't be a good idea.
Okay.
As you're leaving port. Soon you won't see the shore. All you see is an endless series of rifted ice cover.
My character's strongly impatient, and he doesn't like the lower class. He's uncomfortable in less than luxury surroundings. Yeah.
And the first day on the boat is miserable for you. You do not like it at all.
Of course.
The
My character's
sailors are dirty.
super moody and super gloomy and goth. That's
The
what my
sailors are
character
very
is.
clannish. They kind of stick to themselves. They don't talk too much.
Yeah.
You're pretty confident that rumors about the kitchen are already going around.
Don't care. I want to go home to my bed.
You say
I
as
wanna
you
wake up.
curl up into your bunk with 20 other guys snoring and drinking and talking and playing cards on the floor.
I miss my servants. With that stinking tar pyramid and then came here on this awful boat. Don't even get a room.
You say, crying off the castle. I hate this. Cold wind blowing in your face from the ice on the lake. And yeah, so there you are.
That's me.
Day 2. Make a charisma check. The night passes without incident.
Okay. Charisma, let's look. 14, so it's 14 or less, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Fail.
As you're making your way towards the kitchen, one of the sailors kind of elbows you a little bit. Heard you almost messed up dinner for us last night. It's not a good start, little man. And he just kind of walks on his way. One of his friends pats him on the shoulder and is telling him, "Little bastard."
You wanna fight? Fight my buddy here. Dorian. You'll beat your arm wrestling hands down. Maybe kick all the gold out your pockets as well while he's at it.
They kind of just turn back to you with a, right.
Right.
All right, so let's see. Grab this. Okay, second day. You're assisting the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Roll d20. Roll as low as you can. Let's see if you're worth anything while assisting. Fuck no.
No.
All right, so cook goes to the captain. Captain calls you back to his deck.
What now?
2 days. We're not even a day out of port, friend. Cook says
Yeah.
you're just not working out in the kitchens. What are we going to do about this?
He's got a grudge on me from before.
That might be so, but what are we going to do about this? As I said, we're happy to have a priest of the bride on board, but I can't just have you doing nothing. So what are we going to do with your friend?
I'm quite happy doing nothing and predicting the weather for you.
You say you
You
can
wanna know?
predict the weather.
I can.
All right. Gavin stands up, leads you up to the forecastle on top deck. What do you see for us in the next few days?
Ooh, wisdom check. -1, so 19 or less.
All right. -1.
Yeah.
So that would be
Oh,
your wisdom's
sorry.
18. 17 or
Yeah,
less.
17 or less.
All right.
My bad.
I'll do that.
You doing it? All right.
It's looking like it's going to be clear for about 3 days, and you can expect the fogs are going to roll in probably before you get to Three Creeks.
There you go.
That's a bad omen indeed. You wouldn't happen to know how to talk the bride into steering the storm awry for a day or two, till we get to port?
It'll cost you. Not for me though. Wouldn't charge you for it. That's why I'm here.
Well,
Are you familiar with the bride's ways?
If we get to 3 Creeks before the storm sets, I'll make sure there's something extra in it when we get to the far port.
I can say a prayer, but if you wish to get there sooner, the winds would need to be in our favor, which would require dumping some money overboard as an offering. What do you say? I'll give you a sermon, but only that can go so far without some sort of offering.
You don't have any magics that are going to help us, do you? Gavin says, seeing through your bullshit. I've been sailing this lake for 20 years.
I haven't actually, I don't think. No, I haven't got any magic for it. I haven't got like weather magic memorized. I haven't got any of that.
Perhaps maybe you should just leave it at the sermon, Gavin says. That would, after all, maybe inspire the men to be a little bit more favorably disposed towards you. They heard you almost ruined dinner. Dinner's an important thing to a sailor. There's not much else as he looks out over the endless ice around you. Not much else to look forward in the day, friend.
Yeah, but
and as the
chef Cookie was the one responsible for making them aware.
As the negative 10 degree Fahrenheit, for those of you who are watching, it's in Fahrenheit, because I'm metrically stupid.
That's cold.
Yeah. Little warm dinner goes a long way. He kind of leans in. He's like, you got to understand, these sailors are simple men. And there are legends that sacrificing a priest of the bride is the best way to get her blessings. Always remember that when the weather turns foul. And you know this to be true as a follower of the bride. You're like, yeah. Sacrificing me is actually a really good way to get her notice.
Way.
He's like, so I think maybe you should give your sermon tonight. I'll even contribute.
Okay. That's a deal then.
Later on that day, Gavin goes down, fills a bag with salt water from the salt pork barrel, fills it with coin, and presents it to you, because that'll be the offering at the end of your sermon. And lets all the salty dogs know that they need to be on deck at sunset for veneration to the drowned bride.
I'll start my sermon then, and first request I'll ask, anybody got any seashells? Any clams? Anything like that? Pearls? Anything at all? Anyone? Seaweed?
What the fuck? These dice are all messed up. I gotta cut the language there. No, I don't. Screw it. Okay, so I would say that they can give an offering of some shells, etc., that have been found.
We'll use them as well. And I'll stick them in the sack bag thing as the offering, and preach my ways, showing the symbol of the drowned bride, and rolling my eyes back in my head, dancing on one leg.
All right, standing on the forecastle, captain next to you, you give your sermon. First mate's also there.
Captain, stand below, and I'm going to pour all of this water over you.
And then cast the bag and the coins and the shells into the ocean.
That's it.
All right. Captain accepts his blessing, and make charisma check.
In salt water. Okay, charisma 14.
And we'll make it at no penalty. You haven't pissed off the people that bad yet.
Okay. Now I have.
You know what? Get rid of that dice. Reroll. That dice has done nothing but roll terrible.
I'll use this one instead.
There you go. Use one of your new ones. Let's see if they screw you. Much better.
There you go.
All right. So, trying to keep the crew from lynching you.
Mm.
You give your successful sermon, and the men are feeling a little bit better, even though there are some grumblings amongst them about, they know what the prediction of the weather was. The cold fogs will descend about 2 days before we get to port.
We're not gonna like them. You say you've sailed these waters for 20 years, right? You'll know how to avoid these rocks if we get any close to any. Even if there is a little bit of fog.
And the thing is that your course is shifting a lot because you have to make your way through the ice flows. And that basically just relies on...
Does that help, navigation?
Any good at it?
Yeah.
Like what's good?
-2.
So 16 or less, huh?
Yeah. Because I can help with that. Win some more favour. Lose some more favour.
Get the boat lost.
In the middle of the lake. Everyone's starving.
Surrounded by ice sheets that could close in at any moment.
Yeah, and sharks.
No sharks in these waters. Way too cold for that. There are very large pikes and gar. Okay, so this day has been a safe one for the boat. As night descends,
am I doing my learning while I'm on this boat ride here?
That takes all day.
For that.
You wouldn't be able to do job and do it. It's
right.
all day thing.
Gotcha.
So no.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we never figured out a job for you.
No,
other than sitting around and weather forecaster.
See, I found a way to wiggle out of it again. Magpie's good at that. It's his upper class sort of way.
You're called to the captain's quarters.
Again. Yeah,
There's a guy from the crew you recognize. He's one of the ones that has, he's one of the officers, master navigator. Now, you said you knew something about cooking, and that didn't turn out to be entirely true.
Alright.
You've also said that you know a little bit about navigating.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a look at these charts and see if maybe you can shear a little bit of time off of Master Peregrine's calculations.
I'll give it a go.
Navigation.
Let's have a look.
Yep, and if you want to try and beat the current route, you'd have to make it at a -4 penalty total. Because I know it's -2 already, so an additional -2, so it'd be -4. So you take 4 off of your
intelligence,
ability.
So it's 14.
Or less. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I could have gone so wrong in so many ways. Look at all the other 3 facings, 15, 20, 19. All right. So, with that said, you look at the course and you're like, wait a minute. And then you compare it with the chart. Check it. And let's say, roll d6.
Ooh.
Try and roll high, basically. 1 to 3, you're shaving 1 day off the journey. 5 to 6, 2 days. You're like, this course is crap. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. You're like, see, the world's round, actually. And if you take that into account, you could go this way, and it's a little bit shorter mileage-wise in the wind. And, yeah, so you, with the low roll, you're like, psh.
Yeah.
So you replot a course, show it to Gavin, and he's pretty impressed.
Ooh.
You sure you don't want to stay on until after 3 Creeks? Take me up
pretty
on my offer.
I'm sure. I don't think anybody likes me yet either, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, if nothing else, you have 1 more enemy now. As the Master Navigator looks at your new course and he's just like,
oh yeah, the cook and the navigator hate me now.
Who needs Dissension's Feast when you have Magpie?
And the crew hate me a little bit too.
Now, the crew they're like, after the blessing, they're all cool. All right. So you managed to plot a new course, so that's pretty nice there. That'll get you guys in port before the cold fogs arrive. Yay.
Yay.
Whoops. Nighttime. You're sitting up miserable as always.
Yeah,
Because there's just so much snoring and the boat and the ice hitting against the hull and the dirt, and you can't. This sucks so
I had
bad.
a cabin right now. My own room where I don't have to listen to these snoring rats.
You hear a tapping on the door.
Door?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I had a room.
This door right here.
Oh. Okay.
The rest of the snoring sailors are doing exactly what they do best.
Snoring?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm gambling or not? Oh, they all
No,
sleep.
everybody's. This is late.
Okay.
Right before morning watch, so like 3 a.m. ish.
Alright, I'll clamber out in my pajamas.
Alright.
And I'll knock back on the door.
The tap continues.
Okay, can I creak through the keyhole? Or not? There isn't one.
Let's find out. There probably is a keyhole, but it would probably be secure because this boat is combat capable. 20% or less. Yes. There's enough of a gap in the door that you can kind of see on the other side. There appears to be a man in like a night cloak like you. And one of those long caps that you see in the old timies that they used to wear to bed.
Oh, right, okay. Do I know this man or not?
Make a wisdom check. -2.
18 minus 2, 16 or less then. 13.
You're pretty confident this guy is not part of the crew that you've seen. You got a pretty good look at all their faces during the sermon.
That's really bizarre.
Taps at the door again.
I'll open it. I mean, there's a crew full of guys behind me, so...
Oh! I'm sorry? Man looks startled.
I look puzzled.
I thought this was my room. Pardon me. And he begins to walk across the deck.
How old is this man?
Looks about 60 mid-60s.
What? Hold on. Who are you?
He turns back towards you and fades away into the mist. You notice the rest of the hands on deck, you can't really see them. They're up on the forecastle on the quarter deck, huddled against the wind and the cold and the dark.
I'm gonna close the door and go back to bed.
All right. Next morning. Bomb. All right, so Captain summons you to the forecastle.
Yes, again. I'll walk in and close the door behind me. Captain, Gavin.
Any change in the weather?
I can have another look, but we'll see. So, I have to re-roll that.
I got it.
Minus.
And looks like there's no change.
Good.
And with the new course that you plotted, you guys should get into Three Creeks by tomorrow or next day.
Cool. I'll pass that over to the captain and tell him that.
All right. I appreciate the new course. Looks like we found some use for you after all. Can't say that Peregrine's happy with you, but
Really?
everybody else is.
Right.
A couple of days early is a couple of days early. We'll be staying in Three Creeks for a couple of days, so as we do our business, we're offloading and reloading. And if you want to stay on, I'll take the boat east. There's not a whole lot for us out on the east. Those are very small villages, but they've often got something to trade: corn, grain, meats, fish. I'm certain I can make a little profit and maybe get you further on your way. So think about it.
No. Why are you pushing east, Captain? Why?
Well, it's good to have a navigator on board. It's also good to have a priest to the bride. Yeah, he says, but you're a better navigator. Let's admit it. Peregrine's good. He's been with us for time.
Quick question, Captain. Do you have any older gentlemen on board? Over the age of 50? Say?
No, Peregrine's one of our oldest.
How old's he?
Oh, he's probably mid-50s. He's getting up there in age.
Okay, that's fine.
He's still got great eyes, though.
Okay. Well, we'll continue in our way.
Why do you ask? Gavin says.
Oh no, it's I was just curious. Personal reason.
Very well.
Don't worry.
Well, go see if you can help out a little bit. I can't just have you checking the weather in the morning. You're supposed to be working.
It takes me a little bit longer than 5 minutes to check the weather, Karen.
Oh, I know. You sit up on the forecastle for an hour, smelling the wind.
Yeah. Licking my finger and holding it up. Yeah.
Measuring the clouds with your measuring tools.
That's it. My sextant and my things like that. Wind chimes. I'll walk up and down the deck and I'll have a look for some stuff. Maybe do some fishing off the end. Maybe a fish will be good. I'm not skilled in it, but you know, we'll give it a go. And that's how I'll spend my day. And if anyone asks, I'll just tell them I'm trying to get the crew an extra meal. Nudge, nudge. Really, I'm just relaxing.
Do you know fishing?
No. I'm just bluffing my way out.
Would you like to use any of the skills that you do have? Well, you use the navigating. That actually worked out pretty well, because the cold fogs with you guys out at sea might not be so great. Out at lake.
I mean, I've only got reading, writing, astrology, endurance, survival, urban, swimming, etiquette. That's it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've used my skill that I could. But I'm just bluffing my way with fishing.
Well, roll 1d20. On a 1 to 5, you get a fish.
Okay. Hey, I got a fish! I got a 1!
Alright. I'm still working on a lot of the local flora, fauna kind of things like that, but let's just suffice to say you've caught a substantial fish.
Good.
The cook will pay you 10 gold right now for it. The boys would like to have that in some stew tonight.
10 gold? Cookie?
5's all I got. What was my offer? I forgot. 10. 10 was what he offered,
10.
sorry.
Yeah.
10's all I got, sir. I'm not rich. I'm not like you. I'm not from the right kind of family.
Cookie, just take the fish.
I
that's
have no
all it-
family. I'm a fish boy.
My family died in the last crossing. All of them.
And as a blessing, I have disgusting webbed feet and hands.
Exactly.
But I can't swim.
I can swim. I've got swimming.
You do have swimming. Okay, thank God. As you look around you at the icy waters and broken ice. Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm just not very strong.
that actually hurt. Was it Quinn or Dirt? Dirt was trying to swim with his ailment, and it didn't work out so well because he can swim.
I've got strength +2 on my swimming.
All right, so you're good at swimming
Yeah.
because of them damn hands.
Uh-huh.
Magpie has webbed hands and feet, byproduct of when his family was lost, far out at sea. Okay, so where were we?
We was dealing with the chef.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna give him the fish?
I was gonna give him the fish to heal the wounds between the crew and the cook.
Well, he'll make sure you get the best cut. The rest of it's going into a stew.
Good.
He calls you into the kitchen like an hour later. A little plate set aside. That's the best cut of the fish right there. Rest of it will go in the stew.
Great. I'll trade my portion serving to Dorian because I know he likes for his serving instead.
So you, Cookie, and Dorian hanging out in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm giving Dorian my helping, and I'm gonna take Dorian's helping instead so he can have the nice piece. Because I was gonna pay him in food.
Yeah, at first he was like, hey, I got work to be doing up on deck. Oh, I get to. So he's having the fish. It's good. It's really good.
He's having the best bit, and I'll have his bit. That's fine.
All right. On that evening, the stew goes over pretty well.
And I blacked my way out of work again.
And everybody knows where it came from. So there you go, Image Man. Image Man. So, crew is a little bit more favorably disposed towards you now at this juncture.
Good. Captain happy too. Making a roll to see if there's any sea monsters.
I actually am, by the way. I just forgot what I'm supposed to be rolling. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so, evening. Much to your chagrin, you find that you have been called for third watch, which is late at night. It's going to be super effing cold. And, yeah.
Can I borrow Dorian's coat?
You'll be up on the forecastle. Forward watch. Yeah, Dorian's got you covered.
Okay.
He even offers it before you have to ask. He's like, it's going to be cold tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
I did third watch last night.
Ah.
It's cold.
Yeah,
it's stupid cold. So.
Can I do something while I'm out there?
What would you like to do? Make your way up to the forecastle. It's cold and chilly, very dark,
as a skill,
and foggy a bit.
I've got the astrology skill.
Let's see, it's still 3 days till the storm. Can't see the stars above.
Aww. I wanted to use it. I've never used it. Never mind.
The one time you tried to use it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yell at you for not using your skills. Yell at you for using your skills.
Can't use them. Yell at me for not having more skills. Okay. Can I do a little bit of light reading while I'm down there? I haven't got anything to read, but besides my scrolls, my books.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go for some fishing again. Why not? A little bit chilly, but give me something to do.
All right. Fishing off
Walk
the.
around.
Well, you can't really fish off the front of the boat, and you have to stay at your watch position. So you're kind of just in for about 4 hours of miserable hell as you sit up on deck.
Yeah, but at least I've got my glow light torch.
In the cold, the dark, and the growing fogs.
My special torch that has the glow liquid in. Lamp. Bullseye lantern.
Oh, you do have that. So yeah.
So I do
too
have
bad
a
you can't read.
tool.
Yeah.
I can read. I just haven't got anything to
just
read.
don't have anything to read. Yeah, of course not.
I've got a dice set and a card set. Maybe I can play solitaire.
You actually amuse yourself by looking over a couple of the charts of the ice lace.
Oh yeah.
And yes, you discover that, let's see, up here is the village of Three Creeks. Out here is marked Dangerous, as that's the icebreaker barbarians, known for their raiding and attacking of ships.
Are they like Vikings?
In a way. They're led by witches that are said to be able to control the ices of the lake.
Do they follow the drowned bride? Because she might have been a witch or suspected witch.
You have the village of Nasscliff, which is a recent addition, as in it's kind of a new town, new port.
Village of NASCAR, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The village of Oliverum.
Right. Are these going to be labelled?
There's a note, best fish.
Okay.
And there's an island marked Eisgriff. Silk is what the connotation says. Now, you do know that there is a variety of frigid kind of ice spider that is known for spinning ground webs. And you have heard that there are certain areas out here where that is harvested and actually turned into high quality clothing. We discussed this once before.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write it down. I'm not writing this lot down. I should be, but I'm not. Okay. Ice Spider.
Which, by the way, is a terrible movie.
Silk is South Lake.
Now, you've heard that this stuff, like I said, you've heard that this stuff only comes from somewhere in the ice lace. And looking at this chart and seeing the captain, his little note that says silk, he might know how to get his hands on that stuff. Because normally ice spiders don't spin webs. They're wolf spider kind of like things. They prowl around for prey, hide under the snow, jump out at you. They're very big. But it is said that there's a spinning variety, and that somewhere in the ice lace that stuff can be harvested and found.
Useful. At least I'll be able to outfit the followers with it. If I can get my hands on some. Save myself some clothing expense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll be running a church at some point, won't I?
Likely, yeah.
Yep.
People really don't like going to church in this land because of you know how the priests are. You could be taken, and to witness that is to be taken. As in, you're guilty by association?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
so...
I don't have to do any don't see me's because I'm not using any priest spells at the moment, so I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. And generally, it's just best to keep that up daily. All right, so where were we? You were, oh yeah, up on the deck, reading over the charts, learning a little bit about the villages.
What were the Viking people called again? Sorry.
Oh, that's the icebreakers.
Icebreaker. Icebreakers are known for raiding boats in North Westnick.
And a couple of days you've been around and on the boat and kind of listened, and yeah, it seems like the guys.
Okay.
The general sailors aren't really keen on the idea of going east. They've heard rumor here and there that the captain is considering going along the east shore. They don't really like that idea because going anywhere near the icebreakers is considered bad. Talk of their witches. Supposedly they're able to shape the ice, control the ice, crush ships with ice flows, make it so that just the icebreakers can get through during the dead of winter, when the lake completely freezes, which will be here in about a month. They literally break the ice. And they can still do raiding up and down with impunity because they alone can use the waters of the lake during the months that it's locked up.
Okay.
So yes, there's a lot of talk about the icebreakers and the pain in the ass they are.
Interesting group of people.
Mm-hmm. And the Three Creeks community is a little bit more, civilized and is kind of considered the northernmost holdout of civilization in Skyfell. And it itself is more or less a palisaded fortress city. Don't think of it in terms of like stone castles and shit. It's wood palisades. Yeah. Old timey. They're just a step above the icebreaker barbarians. But yeah, a little bit more wealth than you would think rolls out of Three Creeks because of the local placer mines and client mines. Basically, people going out doing their own mining. There's a few crops. A lot of fish. They do a lot of fishing. All right, so as for the other two villages in the south, they're not fully developed yet, so we'll talk about them some other day.
Yeah, when you've introduced them on the map. So I'm not going to write their names
down.
Yeah,
they're on the map.
The ones...
Yeah, there is a map. It's just I haven't provided you with the map of Icelace yet, so there you go.
Yeah.
All
I've written down the name of the top one, and I've mentioned a little bit in my notes about these guys.
And then there are numerous smaller fishing communities and farming communities up and down this.
That's fine.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's carry on.
Last day, isn't it? And then I can get off.
As you're finishing your reading, there's a light tug on your jacket. Turning around, you see a small girl, maybe about 8 years old, dressed in bedding clothes and apparently crying. "Can you help me find my doll?" she says. "I lost her." And I'll be right back.
Fucking creepy.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right, so where did we leave off? Oh, can you help me find my doll? I lost her.
Staring blankly at her. You know where we are?
I think I lost her in my room. Will you help
We're
me
not in
find
your
her?
room. You're on a boat.
She starts tugging on your sleeve. Will you help me find her? I can't sleep unless I find her.
I can't leave my post.
Help me find her. And she fades away, as the man did before.
Creepy.
Continue the rest of your watch.
Yep.
Alright. Nothing untold happens.
No, right. Apart from that.
So, make your way down below decks. Pass out on your cot.
Yep.
Still warm from the sailor who occupied it right before you did.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. I'm gonna stay here for a while.
You fall asleep. You're not sure. Probably not much more than an hour, maybe two, before you're woken up. Woken up by the piercing scream of a woman from somewhere on the ship. You sit up in your bunk and notice that all the sailors around are still sleeping, although you're not entirely certain how, since the screaming seems to pierce every beam of the ship. Looking closer at the sailors, it appears as if they're statues. Standing up quickly, looking where Dorian would normally be sleeping, he also appears to have been turned to stone. That would explain why they're not stirring, despite the piercing scream of the woman. What are you going to do?
Where's the screaming coming from?
You can't exactly be sure. It sounds like somewhere below decks.
Below decks, okay. I can't exactly go back to sleep. Can I attempt to disbelieve?
As far as you can tell, there's a woman screaming on the boat, and all of your companions are petrified.
Right. Well, I do have a mirror, so I'm gonna take that out and my torch. And I'm gonna back my way around the corners, moving slowly. Down the ladder, looking first before I go down. Below deck.
This is when you were in your bunk. So,
Yeah.
getting up, opening the door, definitely the sound is louder and definitely coming from below decks.
Yeah, checking the corners,
Excuse
things
me.
like that with my mirror. I don't want to get petrified. So.
The deck of the ship, the masts of the boat, the masts normally that would hold the sails, they appear to be covered in what moss seaweed dangling down from them. Years of growth.
Hmm.
The wood under your foot spongy, waterlogged. Making your way carefully down the stairs here, into the cargo hold. The screaming has gotten much louder, definitely on the deck below you.
Okay. Where is the way down from here?
I was just looking at that. They kind of neglected to put one, didn't they? Alright.
Is it like this bit here? The ladder is underneath here?
Yeah, it would have to be basically like kind of right here.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll assume there's a hatch that blocks it for water purposes.
Right.
Maybe I should have grabbed the key to this map when I grabbed the map.
Yeah, maybe. Can I sort of lift the hatch and point the mirror downwards a little bit?
Yes, you
Angle
can.
some light down there from my torch. Reflect it off the mirror.
Give me a little bit of a strength check. You notice that the hatch is like mucked shut.
Oh. Okay. My strength's only 10.
10 or less.
I don't even have cure light. Sorry, call upon faith memorized, so 10 or less. I break the handle.
Yeah, you pull the handle right out of the spongy wood that makes the hatch. At this point, you would have to... You do know that the Master Carpenter's area is very close, and you could very easily get an axe and hack it away. The screaming is continued unabated. It almost sounds like screams of rage.
I'll do it. I'll bring an axe.
Alright. Bringing an axe over, you easily crush the spongy hatch leading to the stairs down below. As soon as the hatch falls away, the screaming, of course, becomes much, much louder. You get about halfway down the stairs when you see her.
Oh god, it's not her, is it again? I'm thinking it's that one looking for Jeffrey.
No, that's all for Jeffrey.
Okay,
yeah, that just for Jeffrey. That's all about Jeffrey.
It's not the first time I've had a screaming woman yelling at me and being creepy in the night.
Just for those viewers who are there, Admiral Jeffrey has a bit of a problem. So, moving right along.
Yep.
In this case, beautiful woman, mid-20s, long black hair, nice dress. You appreciate it. It's upper class, definitely. Not a wedding dress or anything like that. Just a very nice white linen dress with the frills that one would expect from kind of upper class. And she's simply crouched down, hands a-claw, screaming in what would be considered an unabated rage.
Okay. Am I looking at her in a mirror?
Yes.
Okay.
She makes eye contact with the mirror, and thus eye contact with you, so to speak, sees you, is aware of you.
Yeah.
Screams one last time.
Yeah.
And you wake up to Dorian. Hey, you can't sleep all day even though you were on third watch. You still got to get up with the rest of the crew.
Okay. Alright.
Roll out of bed. What the fuck? Welcome to Skyfell.
You can have your coat back. Here, it's cursed. Let's throw it at him. How to get off the boat? We there yet?
This is your last day, so make another navigation check to find out if you arrive at sunset or if you're going to have to sail through the night.
Okay.
And that's more or less based on the flowing of the ice.
Navigation check. So.
Sometimes you guys have to backtrack or...
Intelligence -2.
So just...
16 or less.
Or less, yes indeed. Bam.
No penalty this time, right?
Nope. Nope, you're not trying to beat the Master Navigator. You just try... This is just a... It's a luck roll for the ship.
There you go, 5.
Okay, so your navigation was good, the wind was good. You guys will be reaching the port by sunset tonight.
Thank God for that. We get off. Never happened like this on my boat. I'm going a bit insane talking to myself.
A little bit shy of sunset, you can see the settlement of 3 creeks. The creeks are actually, each of them is a roaring river. And there's actually dozens of creeks because the ice run is a very, very large river. It's on par with, for American viewers, the Mississippi. For y'all across the ocean, like Magpie here, that would be like the Thames.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger rivers, UK, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thames, yeah.
Yeah, so figure it's like that. And most of the time it's rushing rapids coming out of the mountains and stark canyons. At the area of 3 creeks, it breaks up into the quote-unquote 3 creeks, which are 3 tremendous rivers in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And the village is nestled nicely in the middle of the 3. That's one thing that kind of keeps it somewhat safe, is the fact that it's between 2 raging rivers and on the edge of a 3rd raging river. Nearby is a port. You cannot port directly with the big ships like this. It's got to be done via the boats. They got to send out the little longboats, which basically means you got to feed shit over the side onto rowboats, and then those go into the port. I'm fascinated by old-timey shipping and stuff. You know, what a glorious and horrifying era for humanity was the time of the high seas. Just, wow. The shit the sailors went through.
Roll on England.
England was bad. The Royal Navy was real bad. They would press people into service. They wouldn't even bring their boats into port because people would jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
They'd park them offshore and just never let the enlisted men go anywhere near shore. So you'd stay on the boat forever.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude. That's just crazy. Officers, like 14-year-old officers. Mm-hmm. Ranking officers, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays they're like, 14-year-old isn't capable of making decisions. It's like, well, apparently they used to be. Because some of them are decorated, you know, as in they did good jobs. They're well recounted and well spoken of and did jobs pretty good. And in many like higher class families, it was considered cool because they would go in as officers, of course. It was the lower seamen that they would have to grab off the streets with press gangs. They would literally just take you off the street. Welcome to the Navy. Good luck. So yeah, and just interesting stuff. So try to model and bring a little bit of that here to the game. And welcome to 3 Creeks.
Thank you. We'll get off then.
All right. The boat's probably parked about 100, 200 yards offshore. So you reach the port, such as it is. It does have a number of smaller boats, so there is a port. Most of it's ice locked right now. Only a few channels are open. And you get to the shore. The place is heavily palisaded and surrounded, and basically all the buildings are crunched and built together.
Lack of land, yep. Welcome to England.
Well, lack of land and just, you know, it's pretty hard out here, you can tell. Again, mostly a fisher village. A whole bunch of fishing's done here because of like I said, it's not just 3 creeks, it's kind of like 10,000 creeks, but there's 3 big main ones. So the fishing's out of control. Um,
Yeah.
And that's more or less what this town's known for. And a little bit of mining and stuff. To somebody like you, there might not be so much opportunity out here. There is a governor, of course, who's in charge of the city, and you can tell that it basically is a city built out of paranoia. And that would probably be from the rumored icebreakers.
Any nobles or guilds around here?
Hmm?
Any nobles or guilds?
There is the governor. That would be about as close as you get.
So it's not like I can lodge with him and get away with a free night sleep.
You could try. You could use that. That's where etiquette comes in, because you could definitely, walk up and be like, "I'm Magpie, noble of the South, governor of this land."
As well.
Yeah, so that might give you a little insight as to the governor and the way things are, which you can make that roll right now. Yeah. Heraldry normally is just kind of in the game defined as recognizing symbols and family crests and stuff. I also believe that it also entails some of the history of said family. So make your check, and this would be at -4, because these guys are far away from your normal stomping grounds. Yeah, have you heard of it? Yeah.
10 or less. No. Made it.
You made it?
Got a 7.
All right. You have heard of the governor of this place. I haven't fully developed this town either yet.
It's fine, as long as I know him. Just give him character X.
All right. The town's symbol is almost like a peace symbol, or the atypical peace symbol. Basically, it looks like this. And, that's what the guards are wearing on their crest, on their armor. And it represents, of course, the 3 creeks. Governor Philip greets you at his, you could call it an estate. It's more or less a large lodge built in the midst of all the other lodges that are built on top of each other, so it's kind of hard to differentiate it from the other buildings other than it's taller and occupies more square footage. So, in this grand hall, you can definitely tell that it's grand because A, it's heated above freezing by the number of braziers, torches burning in the hall, and it is most definitely of what we would kind of consider barbarianish build. Heavy on the logs. A lot of unshaped wood is part of the architecture.
I like it.
Sturdy, but definitely built from the local, what they have.
I'm just admiring it as I'm walking in. It's like, nice place you got here.
And a lot of piled and concreted stone, because there is a lot of rock from the runoff of the rivers, and rivers and rocks go hand in hand. So, especially mountain rivers. Anyway, and again, there's a little bit of mining done, so you do see a little bit of, decorations that would be considered silver, a little bit of gold, but nothing extravagant, nothing over the top, and nothing made of like solid gold. More just accents.
Definitely above average though, so it's nice.
Looks like the town has a little bit of ancestor worship going on, which isn't unusual amongst the more rural areas.
And I've got ancient history.
Pretty much every place, it seems, has one or more statues of one or more people who pioneered the village or did something for the village. The village is pretty old, a few hundred years. Dates back to the days of the lion, where it did about what it does now. 3 Creeks has always had dreams of being a bigger place, but it just hasn't worked out. With Sweet Haven not that far away, with a much more established infrastructure, it's never worked out for this town. And this is all told to you while you're having dinner with the governor. I was given this town because of my cousin. He served the Black Lion. My family served the Black Lion. I never really approved of what my family did. Slaving. Dealing in such things. But I happen to be the cousin of the wrong people. And I was given this governorship far and away from any place where me and my family could be deemed a threat to the Reginald. From what I've heard, my family is the least of the king's worries now.
King.
By the way, viewers, the king is dead. Happened just a little while ago in the timeline.
Maybe a month ago, probably.
Yeah, maybe getting there. And yeah, the chaos is soon to ensue.
Yeah.
Power vacuum that a lot of people are going to want to go for. Most of the player characters have wisely avoided to avoid the Game of Thrones of this place because, I don't know, it's a good idea.
I'm level 7 and I want to be the king.
I'm level 7 and I'm going to be the king. Amongst, there's some very dangerous forces in this land.
That's it, yeah. So, no.
Not saying a 7th level can't be king. You know, you don't have to be high level. It's just...
You're going to get crushed.
It helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, Philip, I apologize for not giving you some notice. Could have prepared a little bit more, but a warm meal is very much appreciated after that journey. It was quite testing.
I fully understand.
I've a question for you.
Indeed.
I'll keep it between us, but I'll be heading north, and I'm looking for some form of transport or carry. Cart, maybe. Horse. Can you help me out?
Oh, I'm certain we could arrange that. You say you're headed east?
Well,
He looks at you like you're
northeast,
kind of
yes.
crazy. There's a very wide fen, sir. Grasslands interdispersed with waters and canals and rivulets. The stagnant part of the lake, if you will.
Looking at Dorian there. My friend, he has been there, and he's faced it. He knows where he's going.
You're one of them. From far east. Dorian acknowledges. Yeah, I come from pretty far east. What do you mean, one of them? Well, the people of the Green. One of the barbarians. Dorian looks to you. The Forester's Green is a cult of beast worshippers. They've been having a lot of influence amongst the barbarians of the East. A lot of tribes have more or less joined with them. And I'm not one of them, Dorian says. That's why I'm here. To find somebody to help my tribe. And he looks towards Magpie. And that's why you're with me, my friend. I was going to tell you a little later down the road, but now seems good time as any.
Hold on a minute.
In front of your fellow governor here. He's going to help me rid the East of the Forester's Green's influence. Aren't you, Magpie? Claps you on the back. Cigar?
I shove a bowl of wings his way.
We'll
see what we can do.
Deal. Yeah, he wasn't going to tell you until you were pretty much
no.
out there. He meant a long
He
way
owes
down the
me.
road, like
He owes me now.
right about there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Well, we'll see what we can work out, Dorian says.
Yeah, we'll see what we can work out. Eat your chicken and shut up.
Philip's impressed. So you're gonna go east and help to fight the influence of the Forester's Green. That's a noble quest, sir. And you say you're from the south, like between Vesia and Narfell. Such a distant place, I cannot even picture what it's like to be on the King's Road.
Oh, I have my own governorship in town on the King's Road.
Oh yeah, he's a governor. This guy is too. He's got a little plot of land like you do. Only his land isn't quite as cool.
On the King's Road.
Yes.
And mine's called Mudton.
Mudton. Yes.
Now it changed name. But it's on a very cold, icy river. Looks like crystal.
Well, in that case, then we probably have something in common. Maybe I could send a few of my fishermen your way, and they can try out your river and see if it holds any profit for you.
Sounds interesting. It's a long way, though.
And in return, maybe you could visit again and tell us of your exploits in the East, should you survive.
You don't have faith in me, Governor?
The East is a dangerous place, friend.
Why don't
Just
you come with me?
Watch out for the icebreakers.
I'm aware. Captain Gavin told me about them.
You'll know them. They paint all their flesh white when they go into combat. Face, arms. They almost look like ghosts. Unusual ship you arrived in. Most people aren't crazy enough to go across the lake right now, especially with the fogs coming.
They had assurances with
Grey word.
Mm.
Echoing through the room. Grey word. Doesn't appear as if Dorian or Philip notice it. Door. Grey word. Grey word. You wake up in your bunk? Grey word. You can't sleep all night even though you were on third watch.
Sake.
Dorian says. Get up.
I'm up. What? What the fuck's going on? Yeah. Who is it?
You walk up on top deck, and you notice that the boat is sailing away. As if morning they got everything going and are now sailing out of the port.
What?
Of Three Creeks.
No. No, it's not fair.
What are you talking about, Dorian says. He kind of gives you this weird look. Were we? He looks real close at you. Philip?
I'm not Philip.
Does that name ring a bell to you?
It does ring a bell.
Why does it ring a bell for you? Dorian says.
You were there too, weren't you?
Here, I can get out of my duties for a little bit, and nobody's quite figured out what the hell you do. Let's go off deck. Away from the others.
Right.
Dorian asks you, what do you know of Philip?
Do you not remember eating with him?
Oh, yeah. You do, so you do too.
Yeah.
He's the governor of the town, isn't he?
He is, yeah. But why are we leaving? We'd just eaten.
Maybe we should talk to the captain, Dorian says.
I don't want to worry the captain. I just want to get off the boat and get our way east. Don't you want to save your tribe? Get off the boat now?
What, are we going to just jump overboard and swim through frigid water to the shore? What's your
No.
plan? Dorian says.
Well,
We gotta talk to the captain.
Tell the captain to stop, give us a boat, and we'll go.
All right. You gonna go talk to the captain?
Yeah.
All right. Captain's in the forward room doing some navigations. As you walk in. Ah. Greyward.
Did we interrupt you?
Dorian.
Cap?
No, just plotting the course. It's good you decided to stay with us.
I didn't decide to stay with you. I was supposed to get off at that port, but you seem to have pulled away.
I'm sorry? You just woke up for morning shift.
How long did we stop at the port, Captain?
Overnight, of course. You and your friend went ashore. You were gone a couple of hours. You came back and went to sleep. I assumed that you were staying on board because I told you we were leaving.
I don't remember coming back, Captain.
You and your friend should watch out about your drink.
I'm taking a puzzled look at Dorian. Remember drinking?
I remember drinking. Doesn't mean we didn't drink, but I don't remember doing it.
It sounds like as well. I'm like, looking a little bit disgraced. Can we stop, Captain? Can we get off, please? We'd like to leave now. Captain.
I'm sorry. I don't think you'll be able to. You lads look a little bit confused. Have you had any strange dreams lately?
Looking at Dorian. View?
He shrugs his shoulder.
What do you mean?
What about you?
Your shoulder, Dorian?
What about you?
Tell me.
What about you?
I asked you first, Dorian.
I dreamed of a little girl. She was looking for a doll.
You had the same dream as me then.
Gavin just kind of hangs his head. I hoped it would be different. I must ask you two to leave my cabin, please.
No, you're going to tell us what's going on right now, Gavin.
No, we'll talk later. I have much to think about. I have to plot our course.
I can help you plot your damn course. I'll slam my hand on the table. Tell me what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, you've experienced this before, so tell me what you know. You know something.
All I know is I didn't think that you'd have the dreams.
Who else has had these dreams?
We all have. We hoped that it would be different with the priest of the bride on board.
Have you had these dreams since I've been on board?
Long before.
What happened in your dreams?
Look, friend, I don't really want to talk about it.
Why?
I need you to leave the cabin. There's nothing to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know any more of what's going on than you do.
Alright, we'll leave. Me and Dorian will leave. Yep.
Heading back out onto the main deck. Routine hasn't really changed. The sailors are doing their thing. And here you are. Time to figure out what you're going to do today. It's how are you going to get out of menial work today? What's your plan? Fishing? If you don't come back with a fish, that won't work anymore. Everybody would be like, fuck that. Next day. You'll get away with it for a day.
See.
What you doing?
I'm looking. Hang on.
By the way, the cold fogs will be here tomorrow. Weather hasn't changed.
Hmm.
For all intents and purposes, it's the next day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How far away from the shore are we?
It's barely in sight.
Oh, so it's more than a few hundred feet.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. I was gonna use the thingy one that's locked permanently in my brain and just teleport away to shore.
There you go.
It's a shame. Door, you know.
Uh-huh, I know it.
I suppose I will have to do something then. Can I hustle some of the sailors out of jobs? As in, they do my job share if I win a gamble. Because I do have a playing card set and a dice set.
Not during the day. Everybody's working. You might be able to get away with that at night. And in theory, you're not supposed to gamble for money.
We're not gambling for money.
Mm-hmm.
We're gambling for chores.
There you go. So who do you wanna replace chores with?
Anyone
Today
that's
you'll
willing?
notice the master carpenter has nothing to do. He's been hanging out on deck all day, just kind of looking out.
Ooh, we'll play a game with him.
So you're gonna tell him, you do my chores, I do yours?
Yeah,
Because he has no chores today.
exactly. Yeah.
No, I have no chores today. What do I win, huh?
Would you want to win?
He leans close. Don't tell the captain, but maybe for a little coin, I'll throw against you.
How much you looking for?
Oh, I don't know. He looks out. It's one of the last fine days before the cold fogs come. There's crisp. The way's wide. Looking at the crack that you guys are currently navigating between the ice. There's no wind, so it's not so cold up here. It's a good day, friend. I'd say 10 gold.
10 gold and a little bit of blackjack and house. How's that?
You're going to play the house?
I'm gonna play house. House has an advantage. That's the point.
If you have a deck of cards, whip it out.
I do have a deck of cards. Not in game, but I have a deck of cards
Hold on.
written
Objects.
down. Oh, cards, yeah.
Let's just do it as dice. We'll.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Ta-da. Okay, so hold on. The wager's 10 on a single hand, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yours.
All right. I get a chance to double down, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shuffling. Blah blah blah.
You're a dealer. Give me my card. You guys, of course, are doing this below decks real quick. Make a charisma check.
Charisma check.
Yeah.
14 or less then. 10.
All right.
Made it.
Nobody's going to snitch is catching us yet.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I got to call first, huh? Let's see. Oof, this is a shit hand. I think you're cheating. Oh, why not? Hit me. Arr! We're playing 25, right?
No.
All right.
21.
Now, he keeps his gold, but you have nothing to do today as he goes to do your chore today.
He gets 10 gold anyway?
No, he doesn't lose his money. Or no, you get the money, I'm sorry, and he still does your chores.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't lose
No, I thought
anything.
my counter wager was chores. We're confused a lot.
Well, your wager was, if you won, I pay you 10 gold and you do my chores.
Yeah, so you don't get no money, but you have no chores as you
Yeah,
just
that's
look
fine.
over the railing, and guess who would have been swabbing the deck today?
Me.
Not top deck, below deck. And even there, it's a pain in the ass because it's getting cold enough that near the hatchways, icing can be a problem. Up on top deck, water would freeze instantly.
Ever resourceful, aren't I?
Yeah. And that's the other job the deck swabber is doing, is breaking the ice, as in walking around where the ice is starting to accumulate on the rails and breaking it and swishing it over the side.
I'm going to sit in his cabin. In the carpenter's cabin and just chill.
You've actually found the best place to chill is the kitchen.
Oh, there you go.
It's the warmest place.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to AFK real quick, and I'll be right back.
Magpie gets away with it again. I like that. That was funny.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back.
Mostly. Looks like my phone rang.
I like that card game. It was funny.
Yeah, that was a quick one. We'll have to discuss the. Yeah, we'll have to figure out the wager a little bit more ahead of time, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It worked out. Nice, I get to
yeah.
with it.
I was a little confused on who, what, huh?
Yeah. I should have given myself another card at the start, but whatever. Fine. We'll roll with it.
All right, so
Hmm.
you managed to shirk responsibility for another day. Did I count for today? I think I did.
Yep.
That it's basically a new day. Okay, and it is daytime. And
Last day before the fogs.
yes,
And I'm chilling.
Yeah, you really have not that much to do. Your day is pretty mellow. Let's see if the rest of the ship's day is mellow.
I love how I'm getting away with it constantly.
What, like 6 days so far? Yeah.
Yeah.
5 days. 5 days. Because day one you were still in Sweet Haven. All right, so.
And the deal was to pull my weight, and I've not done anything to sing along.
By sunset, just endless ice, water, and wind.
Mm. Might do another sermon tomorrow. Get some more.
Get a little bit more
Goodness.
favor since they notice you just lollygagging today, and even though they understand what happened, as the day wears on, they understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they see the master carpenter doing the shit work. And, yeah. Night rolls around.
Uh-huh.
The sailors in this area actually kind of like they've asked you to break out your lantern.
Yeah.
Oi, maybe we could play a little music.
You can play cards as well in this light. All right. I'll take it out. I'll uncover my lantern and let it shine, so to speak. Don't break it though. Careful. Stays with me. It doesn't wash. We'll say that once.
Tonight the mood's a bit quiet, and you do notice that a couple of the sailors do have a couple of instruments, so they kind of pluck and toot absent-mindedly on their various instruments. They're not half bad. You know, you've seen better, you've seen worse.
I'm still uncomfortable, because it's less than luxury.
Dude, Jeffrey was walking along and had a random encounter in Physia before the Leviathan, and he saw an acting troupe with a skill level of 17 of 20. They were fantastic. People were crying on the street from the scene that they did, and he was like, "Can I hire you?" So yeah. In any event, poor Physia.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The city you ruined.
Well, you're lucky you don't have any watch tonight, Dorian says. Maybe you get a night's sleep.
Maybe. I'm laughing to myself because I've been sleeping all day.
So when the late night rolls around, it's very easy for you to hear the tapping on the door. Again, this is very, very late. Third or fourth watch. You're not entirely sure, you don't have a clock. But you know it's really late. And you haven't been able to sleep so good because you slept all day, so now your sleeping pattern's all fuckered up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
wake Dorian up with it.
Alright. You wake up, Dorian? Huh? I don't have watch tonight. Fuck off. He turns over. What? What?
Knocking, do you hear it?
You guys both listen. There is no knocking.
Fine,
what the fuck are you talking about? You're dreaming again, man. Go to bed.
Alright. I'll go back to bed then.
Next morning. You wake up and yeah.
Yep.
The captain tells you. The crew.
We're
headed to Icegriff. We're gonna up on fish, and maybe if we're lucky, boys, they'll have some silk laying around for us. The rest of the sailors are like, greed in their eyes and their voice. And if not, well, we'll still get some good fish, which we can trade down in the south.
My eyes are sort of looking at the captain a bit suspiciously, wondering if he's a pirate. Okay.
So you're a couple of days out. The fogs start today.
Yeah.
Tonight. They're going to roll in. Mm-hmm.
Can do a sermon today, though, wouldn't I?
Today might be a good day to do a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna go talk to the cappy or the cook about getting some saltwater brine?
Yeah, Captain. Ooh, Captain Gavin.
Since you're doing a sermon today, take out a no see me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
An entire week worth?
No, a day worth. Mark it in days until you get up to 10 days, and then mark off 1 week.
Right, okay. I've got 16 weeks, so...
Yeah, you're going to have to track it daily.
Alright.
Yeah, because you're going to be preaching the sermon. You're most certainly going to want to make sure that your loyalty is unquestioned.
112 days. Well, 111 now.
Remember, it's 10 days to the week.
Oh, bollocks, you're right. Why'd I always think that? Okay. 16 times 10 then. That's 160 minus 159. Days. There you go. Done.
Alright. So, gonna give a sermon. Charisma.
Again.
No penalty.
No penalty, 14 or less. New dice.
Slightly different ritual this time. This time you spray the brine across the entire crowd as best you can.
Okay. Made it.
All right. Well done. So, crew reacts favorably, and they appreciate it on the night that the cold fogs are going to settle in.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Gavin lets everybody know that there's going to be a little bit of extra work because we're going to have to keep the rigging and the sails free of ice.
Mm-hmm.
That means all of you, he says, looking right at Magpie. And then looks back around the rest of the group.
You got something against me, Gavin? Oh.
All right. So, there you go. End of the day.
Okay. That was a good day. Didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, again, that was my fault.
Yeah,
You shook down in the day. You just kind of... You kind of just did this.
Yeah.
Plop.
That was all right for everybody. End of the day. Yay!
While you're down here hiding from everybody, throwing dice and cards with yourself, Dorian comes down to grab a keg and just goes back up the stairs as you're all shh from the corner. You notice this door has a heavy lock and is a heavily barred door. This door, also heavily constructed, but it appears unlocked. Since you're down here all day, you have plenty of time to kind of wander the compartments, and so you find this one's unlocked and seems to hold kind of. You're going to guess this is the ship's main provisions: extra sails, extra rope, extra fixie stuff, wood, nails, blah. This room is the crap they plan on offloading, trading on the various ports. So you've got, I'm just going to leave it at innumerable different goods. Most of them in pretty small quantities. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Because they never can tell what the port cities are going to want to buy, so they just bring a mixed cargo.
Yeah.
All right. And then that's that.
That's wondering how many days I can get away with. I've spent the entire week doing nothing.
So far, you pretty much shirked out of all work, yes. All right, so. And Dorian's just like,
It's great.
Matter of fact, that drawing of Dorian catches his looking at you perfectly. Only picture him holding, like, 2 ropes or 2 buckets as he's just like,
Yeah. My character suits it so well, though. He's the type that would. Yeah, so, another day. There was one locked door, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Is it under lock and key sort of lock?
Did we day it yet?
Or is it...
Yes, it is day 7, basically, as the day's wearing on, so yes.
I'm just wondering if it's got any lean to it, the door. Like, if I give it a little bit of a push, would it snap open?
No. It's solidly constructed.
Has it got a keyhole?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
can't see through it.
No. Thanks.
And it's chained.
Chained?
Mm-hmm. Very sturdy anchors on either side with chain running between them. Door opens towards you.
Can I put my ear towards the keyhole and see if I can hear anything?
Shh. In theory, only thieves are supposed to be able to detect noise, but I believe that there is a rule for 1 on 1d6. If you were some kind of elf or some weirdo, you'd be 1 to 2 on a 1d6. So grab a 6, roll it. If you get a 1, you will hear sound. You'll succeed. So if there's any sound to hear, you'll hear it. No.
Oh, 2.
The only thing that you hear is Dorian chewing on some meat as he stands behind you. What are you doing?
Door's locked, Dorian.
Of course it is. That's a secure hold.
What's a secure hold?
I don't know. Ask the captain.
What's giving us nightmares, Dorian?
I didn't have a nightmare last night, did you?
No.
What do you say this, Dorian says. Should you have a dream of disturbing nature, you let me know the next day, and I'll do the same for you. Maybe we should do that.
Well, you know when I woke you last night, Dorian? I didn't
Yeah?
hear a knocking. There was a knocking on the door, so... Didn't investigate, woke you up instead. But you couldn't hear it, so went back to sleep and that was it.
You think that was a dream?
Possibly.
I hope you don't end up getting stabby in your dreams.
Uh-huh. I think you're the more dangerous one who's to get stabby, not me. I'm sure you could wrestle me out.
Make Constitution check, by the way.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
It's about time to check out if your character is susceptible to seasickness. This is a permanent roll.
Oh no! The Magpie seasick? Are you serious? That would be so bad. He's blessed by this drowned bride. The
Then
hell?
don't fuck it up.
10 or less, or 10 or more.
Give you a +4. 14 or less.
Okay.
And yeah, the waves of the ocean are different than the ice-locked waves of
9.
the sea. You gotta roll D20.
Oh, bollocks. You said D10 initially.
Did I?
Yeah. You can check it back. Right. 14 or less. Oh, wow.
What'd you get?
17.
Alright, yeah, you're kinda... The lack of waves, it's what's more disconcerting to you.
Oh.
Not bad enough to where it's gonna be a problem, but yeah, you're not really happy with that.
Okay. I'm a little bit hazy then. At least it wasn't a critical fail. Like if I get on a boat, I'd just throw off. You know, that would suck. Okay. Ugh, it's awful. Alright. It is night time still, so...
Yeah, it's basically about that time.
I
Let's see now. Do you have watch tonight?
So...
I'm not even going to roll it. You do have watch tonight. Captain's order. Roll D4.
You're just forcing it now. You just want me to do some work.
Well, you know, you might as well serve on watch.
1.
First watch. That's not so bad.
There you go.
That's basically right now.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
As
now.
everybody kind of heads off to the quarters, you head up to the top deck, and you're going to get to see the mists coming in.
Once. I've done watch once, that's all I've done. So this is my second time. And it's only watch, it's not labour, so it's fine. Okay, I'm watching. I'll say some prayer while I'm up here, just for the fun of it.
All right. So, on your watch, at the very end of your watch, you basically kind of watch it happen. Over the course of an hour, the temperature drops about another 20 degrees, making it all but unlivable up on the deck. And the fog comes blowing out of the north. It's a fog carried by a wind, and you notice it causes frost buildup almost immediately on every surface it touches. They have to bring up the sails to keep them from getting too frigid and tearing, so won't be making great time.
Hmm. Okay. Do I have a spyglass up here? Can I have a look around?
Uh-uh.
Mm.
Those are extremely rare. Jeffrey's got one. It's one of his most prized possessions.
I do have a bedroll. Can I wrap myself in that?
That'll help, yes.
Here you go.
All right. So, as I said, that was towards the end of your watch, so, about the last hour. And thankfully, happily, you head down below decks.
Hmm. Okay, get some sleep then.
All right.
I can't do any spell looks out, so that's fine. I just love how I've got away with everything. So funny. It's part of the contract, you're gonna have to pull your weight on this boat. Yeah.
Yep, got it.
What have you done all week? Nothing. What? I stood watch a few times. Nothing manual labor.
Right.
Yeah. Played some cards. Won.
You have no idea what time it is.
No. Okay, see the
When
stars tonight.
the tugging comes at your sleeve, this is when you're in your bunk sleeping.
Hmm.
Opening your eyes, you see a small girl, same one. Can you help me find my doll? I lost her. I can't sleep without her. Can you help me?
What does she look like?
Frizzy red hair, kind of smaller of stature for a girl of that age, hinting maybe not the best diet. Clothing is actually very nice. White, frilly.
Hmm.
But again, bedclothes.
Right.
Or seeming like a bedclothes style. Can you help me?
What does your doll look like?
Can you help me look for her? It's Prissy, my doll. You know.
Yes.
You know what she looks like.
1 second. I'm just gonna get out of bed and go wake Dorian up. Quick.
Dorian appears to be on watch. He's not there.
Oh,
There are other sailors, though. Well, you do have to walk out on deck to get out of this room.
Alright, I'll walk out on deck with the little girl.
Alright. So you'll help? She's very happy.
Yeah. Well,
Reaches
we'll
out,
have a look. I'll get
holds
some
your
help.
hand as you walk out. Walking out, you know there's a guard on the forecastle and one on the quarterdeck. And there is also one on this deck, but you notice that he's huddled against the pile of rocks for the catapult. His back's to you at the moment. And yeah, because he's huddled against the extreme fog that's around
Where's
all of you.
Dorian?
You don't know. He could be front or back. It's definitely not. It's definitely not him on this deck.
Then I'll walk to the back.
No, it's this way. And she indicates towards the stairs.
Okay, I'll follow her.
All right. She takes you all the way down. And you notice that the door has no chains, no lock, just a well-made door. She opens it. Yeah. She opens it, and you see there's a bed, dressing table.
Right.
little chest. It's hanging open, has toys in it. I shouldn't say a little chest, but a chest large enough for a number of child's toys. Looking over at them, they seem to be relatively simple make. They're not high class or anything.
Okay.
I don't know where she is, the little girl says.
How about I'll have a word with the captain tomorrow and we'll all have a look.
But I have to find her tonight. I can't sleep without her. Looks like she's going to start crying as she flumps onto the bed.
Don't cry, don't cry. I don't want to step in the room. It's creepy. Haven't you got another toy?
No, I want Prissy.
Prissy? Okay, I'll walk in.
Alright.
And I'll have a look.
Where are you
On the
looking?
bed, on the floor.
Right off the bat, you look under the
Yep.
bed, and there's a small doll. Looks like it was kind of made to resemble the little girl. And yeah, it's laying under there, just kind of tucked up against one of the legs of the bed.
Okay, I'll take it out and give it to her.
Oh! She totally, entire face just beams as she grabs it. Thank you!
You're welcome. Can I go back to bed now? Are we okay?
Mm-hmm. She leans down, snuggles up with her doll.
Okay, I'll leave, and I'll... Good night. I'll close the door.
Alright, done. Make your way back up to the bunk room.
I'll go to bed.
Alright. And that's where we'll leave it off for now.
Oh, okay.
So, there it is.
Well, that wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be, but it's probably still unpleasant in some sort of way.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows where it's going to go from now? What?
Well, I don't trust you, you know.
No. You should never trust Dia. To any viewers out there, never trust Dia. But, yeah, who knows? As you lay down in your bunk, you're like, what's going on here?
I just figured if I did get locked in, I've got a door and I can use knock, so, well,
Mm-hmm.
I went for it. Half expected you to slam the door behind me and have the screaming woman appear in my face. Or be mangled up underneath the bed. You know, something creepy. But that's fine.
So yeah, there it is.
Uh,
A couple of things to think about there. Might be able to play in the next day or two. I'm not sure. It all depends on the schedule. But
you know, I'm completely free. And I'm free now for another 6 hours.
sweet.
If you want. Actually, I don't even have to go to bed, so it's... I'm free.
I get you.
I don't have work for 2 weeks, so...
Well, let's see. I've got Jeffrey and Wafu tomorrow night, and then Dirt and Quinn on Saturday.
Okay.
That's I think what the schedule is so far.
You're putting this one on YouTube as well?
Yeah, pretty much going to do all of them. Figure why not?
Yeah.
It's a little change. A lot of people are playing more. I think it's 5th edition now, and I don't care much for the system. I think the 2nd edition is more open to interpretation. As in, it just gives us more options and more ways that we can go outside of the box of numbers and letters and special abilities. 5th edition reminds me of an MMO. That's really what it is.
Right.
It reminds me of tabletop MMO, which I think is what it's designed to be. But to each their own. There's a million games. All of them are fun, depending on the player. Yeah, grand plans for the old city there, New Mudton.
I think I called it Glasswater or something.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
we both know it's New Mudton.
It's New Mudton.
Yeah, I believe you're the inn. Yeah, and
The inn and the houses that I built.
yeah, getting there.
Yeah.
We're almost
Need
into
lots more
week
money.
1. All right, so I've gone ahead and saved this, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off the stream. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it as always. Until next time, this is Permadeath Extraordinaire. Loving y'all.